Hey everybody, hope this finds you all well. Decided I would do a how I paint video. I'm not calling it a tutorial because I feel that most of the folks that watch the videos I make are at least as good as I am at painting miniatures. Most are in fact better. Um, so I'm just going to do a how I paint, whether it's right, whether it's wrong, what have you. Maybe somebody will find some interest in it. Um, the first ones I'm going to do are the Napoleonic miniatures I got from Front Rank a couple of months back at the end of December actually. These are Duchy of Warsaw figures, and the more I look at them, the more I like them. I think they're just excellent. I've painted up one test model so far. This is a Grenadier in 1813 uniform, and I'm gonna go with this guy the way I painted him up, with just very minor changes. I'm gonna do on the sword baldric. I'm gonna do a cream color like the trousers rather than the white of the cross straps that I've done. Also, the rifle sling should be a cream as well from the research I've done. Other than that, I'm going to do them pretty much like this guy's done here. The first thing I do when I paint miniatures, I always paint the flesh first. And in this case, I'm using a new to me color triad for painting flesh. I've got to give a shout out to Von Ketteringham. I was watching his Viking videos, and the triad he was using started with Panzer Ace's Light Rust as the shadow tone. And when I first heard him talking about it, I thought the transition would be, too stark, too severe. But after watching his videos, I quite liked the way they turned out. So that's what I'm going to be using. That's what I did on this guy, and I'm really pleased with it. So I start out with the Vallejo Panzerese Light Rust, followed by the Citadel Cadian Flesh Tone, and then the Citadel Kislev Flesh as the highlight color. So I'll get the base, I'll get the shadow tone done on this guy here, and we'll be back. Okay, so here we go with the shadow tone done in the light rust color, and now we'll move on to the base color, which will be the Cadian flesh tone from Citadel. Okay, we're back now with the base coat done on the flesh. You can see there I've laid in the Cadian flesh tone. This is actually probably anywhere from 3 to 4 layers of that color. I know everyone says 2 thin coats is better than one thick coat. I live by that. I live in a very dry climate, and so I tend to paint with really thinned out paint. Otherwise, it just dries on the palette so quickly. I wind up wasting a lot. Um, uh, the, I'm typically working with very runny paint. And to me, I think the key, and this is just my opinion, but I think the key to that, to being able to handle that wet paint, is a good brush. I use a Kolinsky Sable. The particular brand I've been using is the Winsor and Newton Series 7. This is an aught size. Um, the problem here right now in the U.S. is due to the wisdom of our government, they can't differentiate between endangered species and Russian badgers. and so we actually can't get Kolinsky sable brushes in the U.S. right now on a regular basis because some government bureaucrat is afraid that it's a product of some endangered species. But anyway, I bought a couple the last time I could, and I'm using those, and that's pretty much what I use exclusively for this type of detail work. So I've tried to leave some lines of the darker color around, like the sideburns there and the middle of the ear, and let's see if we can get better focus. There we go. The middle of the ear and under the ear, and under the chin and the eyes and that sort of thing. I've tried to leave a little bit of shadow, but the Cadian flesh tone is the base color, and so that's supposed to be the primary color, and the other colors just complement it. So next we'll go on to the Kislev flesh, and that'll just be highlights like on the point of the chin, the nose, maybe the knuckles on the hand if my hand stays steady enough, the edges of the ears, that sort of thing. Okay, so here we are with the highlights done on the flesh. I was able to get the knuckles okay and paint in the little tendon lines or whatever on the back of the hand there. Chin, cheeks, nose, tips of the ear. For me, that's, I'm satisfied with that. So next I'm going to move on to the jacket, which is going to be a blue. I don't have a good Prussian blue triad, so I've kind of got to make my own. What I'm going to use is the Cantor blue from Citadel as the base color. I'm going to get a wash of the dark blue Citadel wash, Drakenhof Nightshade, and then a highlight or base color will be a 50-50 Cantor blue and this blue, a light talk, however you say that, 50-50 that and Cantor, and then the highlight color will be just pure this. Okay. Alright, so now we've done the Cantor blue and the blue wash on top of that. And that's where we are right now. Next, we'll be doing the 50-50 mix of the Cantor blue and this blue again. And we'll be using that as the base color for the jacket. Alright, so we've done the blue base color, which is the 50-50 mix. Got that laid in. Just left a little bit of the darker blue in the creases and under the arms and in the typical shadow areas. I went ahead and also did the highlight in the straight lighter color blue, just on the edges of the creases, points of the elbow, that type of thing. Next I'm going to move on to the cream color, which would be the trousers and some of the equipment straps. And for that, I'm going to start with the Citadel Rakarth flesh, and then I'm going to follow that with a highlight of Pallid Witch flesh. In the test model, I actually did a wash of Seraphim Sepia after the Rakarth flesh, but I thought it was too dark, and so I actually went back with the Pallid Witch and covered up most of that sepia that was in those creases. So this time I'm going to try to just skip the wash and just use the contrast in the two colors to show the shadow on the cream colored trousers. We'll see how it turns out. Okay, so here we are now with the cream done, primarily on the trousers, but also the sword baldric and the just the edge of the rifle sling. Um, I prefer doing it this way over the putting the seraphim sepia in over the Rackroth flesh. I like the way this turned out better. I think I'm going to get more of a contrast here between the cream and the white than on the test model. So now it's on to the black pieces, but I'm going to save that for tomorrow. So I think I'm going to end the video here. We'll call it part 1 of how I paint Duchy of Warsaw Grenadiers, and we'll go ahead and upload this, and then we'll do part 2 to finish it off. Hope you liked it, and thanks for watching.